quite possibly the best book of the week for me. And I am so sad this book is ending. Hello everybody and welcome back to another World's Finest Comic Review Show episode. In this review, in this video, I will be reviewing Amazing Spider-Man Renew Your Vows issue 5. This book, I read this book second this week. This was the second book I read out of the physical copies this week. And it was going to take a lot to top this book. The artwork, the story, after reading this, the bar was set up here, and a lot of books came close, or a little bit close, but none of them passed the bar. This book was my favorite book of the week, and that's why I saved it for last, because I really wanted to go into it again. This is the final book to the series, so if you haven't read it yet, pause this video, put it in your watch later pile, go out, read the book, come back, because I really want to discuss this because, and I know Tevya, and I agree with you, Tevya, so don't think I'm not. I love you. I really do, and I love your opinions on this and DC Comics, because we're on the same wavelength when it comes to Spider-Man and DC. So I'm not criticizing that you always say it. I agree with you. I just don't say it as much as you do, but man, do I wish somehow we can get this story to move over to the 616. Even Annie in this book was so good. I'm not going to do what I've seen a few people do and compare her to Mayday, because that's like comparing the sun to the moon. But Annie is such a nice character. I like it. So you've got Hawkeye and what's left of the Resistance versus Regent, while MJ and Annie are trying to save Pete. And what happens is they find the containment units and they start breaking some of the containment units, and Regent finds out that they're messing with his powers, because as they break them, he loses the powers. And it turns out that he has a spidey sense, so when Hawkeye tries using the arrow on him, it doesn't work because his spidey sense was tingling. So Hawkeye said, we're already doomed. A lot of people, now I want to know why a lot of people were complaining about that little, see, maybe if you want to be, you want the book to be in 100%, 9.9 grade, you leave the advertisement in. Me, I take the advertisement and I rip the hell of that advertisement out of all my books. I did it with all my books from Marvel this week. So I got the beautiful splash page that everybody was complaining there was an advertisement between, because I don't give a damn about the advertisements. I know what's coming, so I rip it out of the book. Take it, rip it right in half, and throw it away, because I don't need the advertisements, and there's no reason to keep them in the book. Guys, don't be afraid to rip out the advertisement from Marvel. They do this every time around this year, so don't be afraid to take them and just throw them out of your book. I ripped about 15 of them. It was this much. Between my books and Mike's books, we had a lot of advertisements, and they were all the same, and they're out in the garbage. So Pete breaks free. That's the long and short of it. And it's Pete versus Regent, with whatever powers are left. And you got MJ and Annie trying to break off as much or separate Regent from as many powers as possible. Annie versus Regent. She uses the thing, and Regent loses all of his powers. And it just becomes a Parker Fest. Annie, MJ, and Pete versus Regent. Regent gets the upper hand with Annie. You think Pete's going to do the same thing he did in issue 1 with Venom, but instead he goes back to being that friendly neighborhood Spider-Man, saves Annie, Regent's arrested, and revealed to be the evil person that he truly is. The end. But as Pete says, it's never the end. It's never a happily ever after, because the story keeps going on, and we wouldn't have it any other way. That is why I believe this story deserves to continue on in the 616, and why, to this day, I don't care who in Marvel says Pete can't be with MJ, and I'm not happy that MJ is working for Tony Stark. But beside the point, MJ and Peter Parker are the power couple out of Marvel, next to the Fantastic Four being the first family. MJ and Peter Parker are the second family that should never have been separated. And this book, these 5 issues, prove it. And you know what? If Marvel didn't want us to say that, you shouldn't have brought this series out, because this series proves once again that all of us fans are right, and Mary Jane and Peter Parker belong together, should be together, never should have been separated, and even though they've been separated, deserve to be put back together again. And if you didn't want us to say that, and if you didn't want to hear it from all of us, you shouldn't have made this series. And if this was your way of saying, well, we made a series, so now you guys can be quiet and stop talking about it. We've only just begun. to talk about it, especially now that you're going into the all-new, all-different Marvel. So if you screw up Spider-Man, or if you screw around with Mary Jane and Iron Man, everybody's going to reference back to this. Which, if you did not read this series, please, out of all the series out of Secret Wars, I urge you guys to read this series. This series was so good. From issue 1 to this issue, it was so good. The best series, or miniseries, out of Secret Wars. This was it. Read it. You will love it. I love this series. This was a great series. Awesome ending. Awesome beginning. Awesome middle. Not one time did this book falter. Once you get to see Power Pack in here. You got lots of heroes in here. Really great stuff. 100% recommendation from me. And I'm sure anybody else who read Renew Your Vows. And with that, that's it for this review, guys. And that's it for week 306. Look forward to the recap directly after this video. By the time this video is up, it should be Tuesday night around the time where the live show is going on. So we will probably be doing the live show, and then directly after Frontline Live, we'll be setting up and doing the recap, where we're going to be recapping all the books that we read this week, whether they be from Marvel, DC, Dynamite, Image, what have you. We will be covering everything in the recap. But again, it's a short video. It is not a review. If you want to see the reviews, check out our reviews on this channel. Right now it's all on this channel, but very soon on this channel or Comic Frontline respectively. We'll be separating our reviews very soon, especially with all new, all different Marvel, literally right around the corner. So we will be covering on both channels. The recap, however, will be all the books. So any books we didn't review on this channel, you'll be seeing on the recap. This week, like I said, all the books are there because we got these out late. But the good news is we've caught up to ourselves now. And starting tomorrow, which is Wednesday, we will be starting week 307. So look forward to that. Look forward to a lot of things. And until then, guys, take care, keep reading, keep collecting. And oh, by the way, in the comments below, let me know what you thought of Amazing Spider-Man. And while you're down there, there's lots of links connected to this channel, connected to things I'm doing. There's lots of things that are going to be shared all over the place soon. There's links to Comic Frontline, Zone 4 Podcast, Frontline Gaming Zone, Under Construction. You've heard this in all my reviews so far. I feel like I'm saying the same thing. I feel like a robot half the time. But anyway, take care, and I'll see you guys really soon in the first episode, but it is episode really 306 of the comic book recap.